Maria was a beautiful and hardworking girl living in New York City. Her beauty wasn't the loud, attention-seeking kind, but the quiet, understated elegance that captured the hearts of those who took the time to notice. Her smile had a charm that could light up even the busiest streets of the city, but she rarely paid attention to it herself. With the hustle and bustle of city life and the exhaustion from her job, she never really had the chance to appreciate her own beauty. She worked at a local cafe, and every evening, after a long day, she would unwind by browsing Facebook. One day, while scrolling through her posts, she noticed a comment that had liked one of her pictures. Curious, she clicked on the profile. But to her surprise, the profile had no picture, just an empty space and a few unusual posts. It left her with a strange sense of unease. This comment had become a puzzle in her mind. She couldn't help but wonder, who could this be? Why would they like my post? Her heart began to race, and her curiosity grew even more. Just then, she received a notification, a friend request from the same unknown person. Maria looked at her phone in disbelief, her heart pounding. She hesitated, unsure of what to do. Who could this person be? And why did they send me a friend request so quickly? Her heart was racing with both anxiety and intrigue, as the desire to uncover more about this person grew stronger. Maria's heart was racing as she stared at the "Accept" button on her phone screen. Her finger hovered over it for a moment, as though making a life-changing decision. With a deep breath, she finally clicked "Accept." The moment she did, a message notification popped up almost instantly. Her pulse quickened as she opened the message. The words on the screen made her heart skip a beat. "Hey Maria, it's me. Alex. Do you remember me?" For a moment, Maria was in shock. Alex? Could it really be? Was this the same Alex? The name felt vaguely familiar, but she couldn't quite place it, until the memories started flooding back. Her breath caught as she remembered. Alex. The same boy who had always been around her during college, often seen with the headmaster's son. The boy who would sometimes walk her home after school, the one who was always by her side during those innocent days. He had that smile that, without her even realizing it, would make her heart flutter. He was always so close, yet she had never thought much of it back then. Her fingers trembled as she typed her response. Alex. I had no idea it was you. How have you been? Alex's reply came almost immediately. I've been good, but seeing you on Facebook brought back so many memories. I couldn't stop thinking about how beautiful you always were, even back then. Do you remember? I used to walk you home after school. I always wanted to say something more, but never did. Maybe now's the time. Maria couldn't believe what she was reading. Was this real? Was this the same Alex, the boy who had been a constant part of her life in a different way? His words made her realize something she hadn't even thought about. There was more between them than just friendship. Alex's next message added, I've always been there, Maria, but I never said how I truly felt. Maybe I should have told you back then, but I think I'm telling you now because I don't want to wait anymore. Her heart was racing. Could it be possible that Alex had always felt something for her? Could it be that the boy who had walked her home as a friend was now the man who saw her as something more? That night, they talked for hours, rediscovering each other and opening up in ways they never had before. The boy who had been a part of her childhood was now a man expressing feelings she never expected, and it felt like a dream come true. In that moment, Maria realized that sometimes life has a funny way of bringing people back together. Maybe Alex had always been meant to be a part of her world, and now their bond was stronger than ever. The days passed, and Maria couldn't get Alex's message out of her mind. Something had shifted inside her, a spark of hope she hadn't realized was missing. She found herself thinking about him more and more, reliving the moments they had shared in their younger years. Then one evening, as she scrolled through her phone, she received another message from him. Her heart raced. "Hey Maria, I was thinking, how about I pick you up this Saturday? We can go shopping, just like old times. What do you think?" Maria's eyes widened. Shopping? Just like old times. She couldn't help but smile. It felt like fate was giving them another chance to be together. She quickly typed back, "I'd love that. It's been so long." The day arrived, and Maria was filled with both excitement and nervousness. She had always known Alex as a friend, but now, the idea of spending time with him felt different. Her heart fluttered as she heard the sound of a car pulling up outside her apartment. She opened the door, and there he was, Alex, standing there with a grin that made her heart skip a beat. He looked different now, more confident, more handsome. The boy she had once known was now the man who had captured her attention in a way she hadn't expected. "You look beautiful," he said, his eyes full of admiration. His words made her cheeks flush, and for a moment, she lost herself in his gaze. They drove to the mall together, laughing and talking like no time had passed. The comfort of their old friendship was still there, but now there was something more, an unspoken connection growing stronger with each passing minute. After shopping, they stopped for tea at a cozy cafe. As they sat across from each other, the world outside seemed to fade away. The warmth of their tea mirrored the warmth between them. There was something magical about the moment, something that felt just right. "I missed this," Maria said softly, her voice full of emotion. "I missed us." Alex looked at her, his expression tender. "I missed you too, Maria. I've always missed you. More than you know." He reached across the table and gently took her hand in his. The touch sent a shiver down her spine, and for a moment, everything else disappeared. It was just them, lost in the moment, as if time itself had stopped. "I've wanted to tell you something for a long time," Alex said, his voice low and sincere. "The truth is, I've always cared about you, Maria. More than just as a friend. I think I've been in love with you for a long time." Maria's heart skipped a beat. She looked into his eyes and saw the honesty and tenderness there. It was the confession she had always hoped for, even if she hadn't realized it until now. "I think I've been in love with you too," Maria whispered, her voice full of warmth and love. And in that moment, with the city lights twinkling in the distance and their hands intertwined, they both knew this was just the beginning of something beautiful. The day that started with old memories had blossomed into a new chapter in their lives, one filled with love, laughter, and a connection that was stronger than ever. It was the most beautiful day of their lives, the day their hearts finally found each other again. As the evening passed, a quiet yet powerful feeling settled between them. They were both enjoying the moments of the day, but something deeper was growing in their hearts. As they sat in the cafe, their fingers still gently intertwined, Alex looked into Maria's eyes, a serious yet tender look in his gaze. "Maria," he began softly, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I can't be away from you anymore. You're the heartbeat of my life, the one who has always been close to me, even when I didn't realize it. I don't want this to just be a memory, a fleeting moment." Maria's breath caught in her throat. His words, filled with so much love, made her heart swell. She looked at him, unsure if she was hearing things right, but his expression confirmed everything. Alex continued, a touch of vulnerability in his voice, "I'm still young, and I don't know where life will take us, but one thing I know for sure. I can't live without you." Maria's eyes sparkled with emotion. His words, so sincere and filled with affection, made her heart beat faster. She realized that what had started as a friendship was now something much more beautiful, something real. "I've already made up my mind," Alex said, gently squeezing her hand. "I'll talk to my father. I'll do whatever it takes to be with you, Maria." You're not just a part of my life, you are my life." Maria's heart fluttered with warmth and love. She knew that this moment was just the beginning of something extraordinary. She could feel the promise of a future filled with shared dreams and unspoken understanding. In that moment, they both knew that no matter what challenges came their way, they would face them together. The promise was clear: Alex was ready to fight for their love, and so was Maria. And with that, their hearts made a silent vow to each other, knowing that love, no matter how young their love deepened, a new understanding blossomed between Alex and Maria. They both knew that their love wasn't just about them, it was about uniting their families and creating a future together. They understood that love, no matter how powerful, needed the support of the people who cared about them most. One evening, as they sat together in the park, Alex took Maria's hand in his. There was a quiet yet strong resolve in his voice when he spoke. "Maria," he said softly, "I want us to be together in every way. But this love, it's not just ours. It's our family's love, too. I want them to be a part of this, to have their blessings and support." Maria looked at him, her heart swelling with affection. She had always dreamed of a love that was embraced by her family, and now Alex's words made her believe that their love story could be more than just a dream. She squeezed his hand, smiling softly. "I agree. We'll talk to our families and make them part of our happiness. With their support, nothing will stand in our way." Together, they decided to bring their families into the picture. Both families embraced the idea with open arms, seeing the love and sincerity in their hearts. The approval of their families only strengthened their bond, and everything seemed to fall perfectly into place. As time passed, their love only grew deeper, and their excitement for the future intensified. Finally, the day arrived, the day when their hearts would unite and they would promise forever to each other. It was a beautiful day in 2025. Surrounded by their loved ones, Alex and Maria stood hand in hand, exchanging vows. The air was filled with joy, and the love they shared radiated in every glance, every smile. This was the day that marked the beginning of their shared journey. As they exchanged rings and promises, their love had already become a symbol of happiness and unity. The love that once started with a simple Facebook message had turned into a lifelong bond. It wasn't just a celebration of their love, it was a celebration of the joy that love had brought into their lives. And so, in 2025, their story became an inspiration, a story that reminded everyone that love, when nurtured with sincerity and support, could bring joy, peace, and lasting happiness. The couple who once dreamed of a beautiful love now had a future full of possibilities, shared dreams, and a life of happiness. Their love had not only united them but had also brought joy to everyone around them. It was the kind of love that changed lives and made the world a little brighter. All were uncertain, had found its forever place in their lives. If you loved our story, please like and subscribe to our channel so we can bring more romantic and heart-touching stories to you. Your support gives us the motivation to create more love-filled tales.